Tyler at Killarney Lake Boat Works. I pulled this boat out. She's dusty. I had everything good to go. I did the top, but I didn't do the bright work on the side. And then my wife, she was just like putting her fingers up and down the lawn. She's like, "There's this area that like I don't like a little bit of flaking." And I was like, you know what? I got time this weekend. So this video is gonna be a compiled video of the whole weekend. I'm gonna rip this hole down. Today is Friday. Sunday, it's gonna be done. We're gonna strip it, we're going to sand it, we're gonna stain it, and we're gonna start building coats. And I'm gonna do this like it's gonna get done, and it's gonna be great for the water because right now, the ice is dropping, the dock's gonna be probably put in later this week. I need to have the jitterbug looking good. Right now it looks good, but I took the trim off and I'm just like, let's get her done. So I'm gonna be replacing the decals. I'll be posting the seller who I get this decal from. We're gonna order that. That will probably be here by Friday of next week. Stay tuned. So I ripped the plank out right now and I'm getting ready to shape a new plank for top and bottom plank. I checked some of the battens and redid some of the framing pieces because some of them were kind of just not as strong as they should be, so they've been backed up with some epoxy. So let's put this back together. Okay, been a very time-consuming few days. It's been a wild experience, but I'm under the gun. I got some projects that are coming up due right away. Sunday, we have in a 1957, 56 C-stiff coming in. Sunday, we got that 1951 34-foot sedan cruiser coming in. I got a lot, but anyways, this is what this nutcase did. I stripped it, I sanded it, I stained it, I started building up coats. Okay, what I used was the Sandusky's mahogany dark. It's like a dark mahogany color. This wood right here. See, when you're doing an old wood Chris-Craft project, you're gonna run into some issues. The wood from back in the day was like on point and amazing, okay? A lot of the wood we get today now is all from like the sustainable growth farm wood BS. Anyways, so you're gonna try to do your best to color match it. Now, I know some people who will literally go find like some old grandpa who's like sitting on mahogany in a shop. He was gonna build himself a chessboard, never did. You buy that wood. You find that wood, you buy that wood. But anyways, we had to finish that plank work on the back. New framing, new battens, all put in with stainless steel screws. Tom, I know you love bronze and brass, but sometimes stainless steel is the best. Going along, when I was sanding, reference this picture right here. So like, you're gonna come into an issue where you're gonna find like wood filler / polyester filler in the seams and in the bungs. You gotta clean that out there. So I go and drill in all new bungs. I drill it by hand. I have a drill press. I just don't use it. Sometimes I'm just in the zone listening to house music or like some good old Nickelback, which I don't understand why people hate it, but man, did they make some ringers. Anyways, I like to pop them in. I glue them in with a waterproof glue. I sand them flush. They're never gonna come out now. Looks pretty good. So right now behind me, we built up some coats using Interlux Original. The stain I used was the Sandusky's Dark Mahogany. This is also a Sandusky's Clear Sealer. I haven't used this product yet. Probably at the end I'm gonna maybe throw that on one of my tester pieces of wood just to see how it uses. I bought this a long time ago and sat for a while, so I'm not gonna put it on like your best project that you're working on. Might as well stick with what you know. Okay, I used 5200 when I was sealing the plank job in. This is the good stuff. It's the brown 5200. That's never gonna come off. I bet you when someone wants to take that plank off, they're gonna go take a friggin' sonic tool to cut it out. Okay, and then this is the little seams here. This is actually a really good product. So, all you wood boater guys, Sikaflex really sent us down the river with no paddles. Stop making brown Sikaflex. What are we supposed to do? You know what I mean? Yeah, I know there's seam compound from Interlux or Pettit and stuff like that, but sometimes the color is not right. I stumbled across this, like one day I was doing some research, and I found out that Sikaflex is elastomeric. And I was like, okay. And even when you use the Sikaflex brown or use the 5200 brown, the 5200 brown looks like kind of pink, and the Sikaflex brown, they just call it Sikaflex brown, not and like when 5200 made it, they call it mahogany. I would say it's pretty close to like maybe Philippine mahogany because it's more reddish pink, so it fits in better. But this stuff right here, this brown by Home Builder, which is by Home Hardware. It's like, I think it's their new house brand. I paid $8.99 for it. Sikaflex is like $19, $22. It depends on what color you're getting. It's kind of like really color dependent. But yeah, $8.99. Put it on. It dries within like 10 hours. Sand's really good. I like to take a scraper and scrape it. So like I'm gonna eliminate most of it. And it's not actually really doing it, it's just filling it with like a seam but will flex and move with it, right? Because like if you look at like Interlux Introdeck, you use the pre-coto and then you use the Introdeck on top. What is Introdeck? It's elastomeric. It's like a waterproof stuff. So anyways, that's in there. The glues, I don't know, like LePage makes a pretty good wood glue with the waterproof one. Sometimes I use that. Sometimes I like to use the Gorilla Glue, like that amber one, because like it just lasts forever. And there's no BS with it, you know what I mean?
Anyways, so we're gonna continue building up the coats. Now, another thing, how like the world is changing from the days of my dad working on boats, is racing bronze any fouling. Like, it's gone. And what do? Well, you can go black, you can go blue, you can go red, or you can go Union Jack red. So we got Union Jack red for the bottom of this boat. She's gonna change to a red bottom with, I'm using Nautica Union Jack red. And then we're gonna put a really nice white line. So it's gonna go transition from mahogany, white line, Union Jack red bottom. And this bottom, it's a 5200 bottom. And they did a really good job on the bottom. I didn't do this bottom, but I'm just gonna, any kind of inconsistency I'll sand out and I'll make it as smooth as possible as I can. But you know what? I've never met any crazy guy who's like, hey, I love anti-fouling. Anti-fouling is probably one of the worst jobs. Now, I've been exchanging some conversations with a gentleman from down in Cincinnati, and he bought a beautiful Corsair. It's like 45-foot Corsair off eBay. He got it for a really good deal. I'm not going to talk about the price that he paid. My investor, he really wanted it, but it just wasn't in the cards, and we already have one in our collection that we maintain. So, like, we have a 43-foot one, which in Seattle, Washington. It's coming here to the shop in 3 weeks. What was I going to say? But anyways, so he was like going to town sanding the bottom of the boat. I said, what are you doing? He's like, oh, well, I want to sand it smooth. It's such a hard job. First of all, guys, wear a Tyvek suit, wear 3 pairs of gloves. I like to wear latex and then like a dishwashing glove, respirator, eyewear. Anti-fouling is made from copper sulfate. It's poison. It's like super bad. That's why plants can't grow on it. It's super bad. So just make sure you take care of yourself, you know, when you're doing stuff. When I'm sanding away, sometimes you'll see me wearing a respirator, sometimes you won't. I'm running a HEPA filter system where it runs on a hose. My shop, there's no dust coming off in the air. You can't see it. It's taking it at like the particle level out of the air from the sander, so it's pretty good. Another good sander tool is probably Festool, because they make really good drywall sanding equipment made in Germany. Can't go wrong. I like Mercedes too. Anyways, but I told him to scrape the hull, prep it up as much as you can, deal with the seams, hit it with anti-fouling. It's a wood boat. And he's like, oh, but doesn't it have to be service? When you're pushing 45 feet of water with a semi-displacement or full displacement hull, you're never going to plane, you're never going to go fast. You're always going to have drag. It's the way the hull was designed. So keep that in mind, you know. And when I was talking to another gentleman today who was from Mandan, North Dakota, and he's got a 1967 Cavalier pictured here. He was talking to me about how he had a lot of dry rot in it, and how he fixed the solution by injecting it with epoxy and all this stuff. Like, that's not a fix. You're just literally putting glue into sawdust at that point. And picture, like previous episodes, like rot is it's like an infection, right? So like you need to cut it out, you need to replace it before it spreads through your boat, okay? And like, how many of you guys have been like smelling, like you go into a boat and you smell it, you smell that wet rot smell, it's like, oh God, this is gross. Or dry rot smell is gross. Some people are like, oh, that's a great, like, no, it's not. Go on my boat, you won't smell any rot on it. Cut it out, replace it. Do it right. Would you put your family on a rocket while it was strapped to blow? No. So don't put it on a boat that, you know what, you can put your kids at risk, your family at risk. Maybe you want to put your mother-in-law at risk, put her on the boat, but don't put your family. You know what I mean? Anyways, yeah, that's that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, get rot. This product, we see it all the time. It's advertised on like Binnacle, Amazon, most like West Marine and stuff, all those boat suppliers. It's a short-term fix, man. A lot of sailboat people use it, and because like their boats are made out of balsam. But like when you're at that point and you're injecting into structural bulkheads, yo, like you need to sort your life out. Just do it right. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's other ways of fixing things. There's other ways of using different materials. Technology has changed, stuff like that. But you know what though? Go to like any wood supply store. You don't have to get mahogany plywood. You can just get fir marine plywood. Marine. I don't care what you go into the wood guy. He goes, oh yeah, just use waterproof screws. It's not the same. If you look up in a there's videos of how they make marine plywood. They put it on such an immense weight. They use proper glues. If you take a piece of marine plywood, I remember as a kid, this memory. Growing up at Holland River Marina, I used to like go like walk around like some skid kid in the marina, even though like my family, like they were good to go. We always were busy with projects, but I used to like look around and there was this like big like back 40 area. So there was like 2 boneyards for wood boats. And one time we had 2 boats in each boneyard. But anyways, the boneyard closest to this big pond, I remember a piece of a Cavalier green plywood sitting in the water. That plywood sat there for like, I think 3 years in the water, going through like Ontario winters and thawing winters and thawing and winters and thawing. And I remember pulling it out of the water, leaning it against a tree, coming back like a few weeks later, it was dry. And structurally the wood was perfectly fine. So that was like old marine plywood that sat for 3 years in the water, thawing, freezing, thawing, still good to go. Don't tell me you can buy some piece of junk wood, which they say is waterproof rating for like building a house. It's not the same. Anyway, enough with that. So yeah, right now it is like 5 p.m. and I'll be back here at 9 to put more coats on this. Keep on building it up. Probably the last coat will be done tomorrow around noon or yeah, and then I would say by tomorrow we'll have the anti-fouling on, and we're gonna start putting on the stainless steel fittings. Now, the bow piece for this boat, it was kind of beat up, and when I bought the boat, people do weird things to wood boats. I've seen it all in my whole life, like just insane things. So, the bow skag. People who know about wood boats and runabouts like this, what are bow skags usually made out of? Well, I've seen them made out of bronze, but they've been chrome, but they don't really last. Majority of them are just made out of stainless steel. Some guy, instead of just like cleaning with stainless steel, honestly what I do is I just hit it with 150, I hit it with 220, I hit it with 300, I work up from 600 to 800 to 1,000 grit. You can get it really shiny. He spray painted it silver. And not even like a shiny metallic silver, just like a flat silver. Anyways, it looked like junk. And looked like pretty much Joe Biden. So, yeah. So I ended up sanding it. And it looks pretty good. So that's gonna go back on. I'm gonna put the trim. Top side's already ready to go. It's just dusty right now from everything in the shop taking up. And it should be ready for the water for Monday. So yeah, it's been pretty flash to bang. I was doing a multitude of other projects. I did this, started like this, moved to this, Move to this, and then I linseed oiled it. That's the deck boards for the Lady C. We're still doing deck work on that. I'm just trying to get a hold of all the projects. I'm really excited to see the Sea Skip. Really excited to see the cruiser. It came from Trenton, the 1950s sedan cruiser, you'll see. And then I'm looking forward to the Washington Corsair / Catalina showing up. And I got a lot of work ahead of me, but it's worth it, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, like, we see projects, and when you finish the project, you commit to them. Like, if you guys knew what goes on in my life every day and how I balance things, you'd be like, holy, this guy is gonna put himself in a grave. No, it's just a way. You gotta balance working on a boat, you gotta balance family, and you gotta balance work. And if you can do all three, you're king among men. And I'm gonna tell you a beautiful saying my dad used to say to us. The man who dies with the most toys in the end wins. They don't have to all work. There's the most wins. Anyways, I just inherited another boat today. I'm gonna make a video of me cutting it apart and stripping it. It's like a 1983 Four Winds runabout. It's got a 5.7 liter V8 Chev block in it. It's got a King Cobra drive on it. I'm gonna cut that up on the weekend and then bring her to the dock. Got a really nice trailer underneath it. It's a Shortlander. Anyways, I'm gonna just put another Chris Crap on top of it. And it came with a boat lift. So now I'm a boat lift connoisseur right now because I'm sitting on a shore station and I'm sitting on now this steel home built one. Now this steel home built one, like, I'm pretty sure it's strong enough that it could lift up the Lady C. It's like heavy duty. It's meant for a big boat. Like, it's meant for this this Four Winds to sit on. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah. So stay tuned for the next video, which is going to be posted right after this, and putting everything back together. My name is Tyler. I'm at Killarney Lake Boat Works. Share, like, subscribe. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. Instagram's my favorite. YouTube, not so much. But yeah, check out these products. They're good to go. Kind of like a soft spot for your love. They also really like my stuff. So yeah, and Sandusky's, you can get this at where I order it from is Classic Boat Connection out of Mankato, Minnesota. The interlocks, I usually get it from Pinnacle or Amazon, whatever gets you faster. 5200. I got a really good friend who really enjoys Bronze Cruise, and Bronze Cruise, he sent me a ton of 5200, and I've been using it pretty sparingly. And this Elastomeric Brown Home Hardware. I know for the American people, you don't have it. I'm sorry, it sucks. But I'm pretty sure you can order from like Home Hardware and online shipped to you in Canada or to the United States. And in Canada, guess what? You're in luck. It's here. Go to the hardware store, go buy it. Okay, Tyler, Killarney Lake Boat Works. See you later. Peace out.